I'm back with part 3 of this, and getting back to the family law court. If your partner goes and seeks legal aid, where is the justice? I mean, if your partner goes and seeks legal aid and then you go to seek legal aid, you aren't entitled to legal aid to the point. It is a conflict of interest. And one partner is disadvantaged over the other partner. That is not fair. There's not an equal balance. There is a disadvantage. And there is somewhat an unequal balance when it comes to the family law court and the federal court judges. There's even an unbalance and an equal unbalance in Libyan when it comes to any court. And at the end of the day, the federal government needs to be looking at the fact of a better system, a user-friendly system, just like that Centrelink has to get their act together, and they have to still get their act together, is that they need a system in place. And as many ministers have said to me, Cameron, look, what you know everyone else is entitled to, what you know everybody else is allowed to have. And maybe you should go out and start an education course and teach people these things. Teach people their rights and teach people what they are entitled to. At the end of the day, it seems to me that, like the Victorian police are bullying me, they are using a man as a tool to get at me. They are being corrupt and they are using a tool to get at me. This is what I'm saying. There are a lot of taxpayers' money being wasted in this country, and there's no accountability. There is no accountability for the behaviours of certain human beings in certain government positions. Now, if you wish to contact the family court, there's only one number that you can contact them on. If you contact, they just had this recently, if you're on a mobile phone and you contact the family court, well, you are being charged mobile phone rates, though it is a free call. For instance, there are so many things that are disadvantaging in the system, where that, look, at the end of the day, some mothers are disadvantaged that much, they are denied the right to their children, or a father is denied the right to their children. At the end of the day, it is enough that you have this in the federal and the family courts, that a perjury, that a judge believes over a perjury, a false allegation by a solicitor, a mother, a father, or anyone, that someone can say something in the family court and they don't need any evidence to do so, and they are believed without any proper investigations. I think that is wrong. And that is against the law. That's actually going against what the Australian Constitution is saying. So, seriously, at the end of the day, enough is enough. I challenge Julia Gillard, I challenge Rob Oakeshott, the independent member, what are you doing to make people's lives that are disadvantaged? And you are the member for Lynn, New South Wales, Robert James Murray Oakeshott. You are the independent, plus along with the other independents. What are you doing to make people's lives better that are disadvantaged? You can throw the money at the pigs all you like, but at the end of the day, do you know, at the end of the day, they're just going to eat it up and nothing's going to be done. And the system's going to stay the way it is. We need to realise that we can't reinventing the wheel. We need to break that wheel, and we need to change the system and make it into a better system where people that are vulnerable, disadvantaged, and people that are having a difficult time. Are we listening to the people of Australia? And this is where I'm saying, maybe we, and people can contact me if they wish, you can leave a message on my YouTube and I'll contact you back. Maybe we can set up a group or an organisation and eventually have hundreds of thousands of people come to Canberra and march upon Parliament House, or march upon Parliament House, and basically do not leave, just like any other minority group can do, and basically show the federal government enough is enough. People power does rule, and people have the power if they have all the same thing in common. People that are disadvantaged, people on pensions, senior people, working class people, and people that are having a difficult enough time in this country, is that the law must change. No more family courts, no more federal judges allowed to break the law and use this terminology of perjury and false allegations. and somewhat allow that to disadvantage people. That is wrong. And that is what's happened to me. There has been perjury done on me by a federal court judge where he has no evidence, and he basically is convicting me and passing down sentence on me when there is no evidence to actually convict me. That's wrong. So at the end of the day, I question the federal government, the state governments and etc. to change the system, to make the system much better than what it is, to give people that are on pensions and to give people that are vulnerable and have disabilities and a disadvantage a fairer go and be listened to. If you only listen to the people out there that are suffering and are having a hard time, you need to be talking to those people, politicians. Because it's people power. We only just seen that in the last election. But what's going to happen is if a whole heap of people get together, then do a class action in the High Court against the federal government because they are actually breaching human rights and breaking human rights and social justice in this country. Enough is enough. No more bullying us. People have rights and people are entitled to their rights, and we don't need family courts pushing the fact of lawyers and not allowing litigants. Litigants is a new thing in this country to a point that's only been here for the last 10 years or so. That people are starting to learn that you don't need a lawyer to defend yourself. You can defend yourself. Seriously, at the end of the day, sometimes lawyers are worse than what you can be. Sometimes you know things better than the lawyer, and you know how to talk better than the lawyer. So you might as well talk yourself, which is called litigant. At the end of the day, enough is enough. Enough is enough. I will be trying to pursue this matter in the High Court of Australia. The fact that the federal judge has done what he's done to me through my wife, we will pursue this in the High Court. We'll somewhat try to get the High Court to do a ruling. If so, then the government need to re-look at the family court and look at how that they are treating people on a per jury situation, and that is accusing people on a perjury and false allegations and accepting them as to be fact. Anyone else to do that, it would not be accepted because it's not fact, it's fiction, and someone's just making false allegations. At the end of the day, enough is enough. We need to change the system, and we need a bit more honesty system to protect the vulnerable, the disadvantaged, and people that are disadvantaged, and people with disabilities and all the rest of it. These people need protecting. These people need a voice. These people need people to speak up and say enough is enough. They are suffering out there, and what is the politicians doing about it? They sit in their little cosy homes, their nice beautiful cars, the best food in the world, and at the end of the day there are poor people out there that are suffering. And we need to say to the family court, enough is enough. You can no longer persecute a father. You no longer can persecute a mother. But what we need to take into consideration here is the children's well-being, health and safety, and make sure the children have a healthy relationship with the mother and a healthy relationship with their father, and that in union that the children have the best relationship with both parents in most cases. Enough is enough, federal government. Enough is enough, state government. I will post more and more stuff as time goes by, but the system is unjust. The system stinks, and at the end of the day, what is the government doing about it? Rob Oakeshott, you aren't doing nothing. You're sitting pretty back in your ivory tower. You've voted Julia Gillard in, and you're not even laying the law down. Do you realise that you can pull the plug anytime you like? Of course, you call the shots. How about we change the family court system to start with? How about we re-overturn the family court system and change it for the better for everyone, for every single person in Australia? That's what needs to be done. And I'm hoping that we can protect our disadvantaged, our people on disabilities, and people that are not that better off.